This week in Jamaica Now. Brace for it, Jamaica under tropical storm watch. Police promise early breakthrough in deadly mass shooting at football game in St Catherine. PNP holds first mass in-person conference. I'm Jovan Johnson and this is Jamaica Now. Jamaica is under a tropical storm watch. This means that tropical storm conditions pose a possible threat to the country within 48 hours. Up to Friday, the local Met Office said the system, now called Tropical Depression Number 9, was expected to strengthen over the Central Caribbean while moving closer to Jamaica. Jamaica and its territorial waters should begin to feel the impacts of the tropical depression as early as midday on Saturday, with an increase in showers and gusty winds. On the current forecast track, Tropical Depression Number 9 will move over the waters south of Hispaniola on Saturday and move closer to Jamaica's southwestern coastline as a tropical storm on Saturday night and Sunday before heading towards the Cayman Islands. All small craft operators, including fishers from the Keys and Banks, were ordered to evacuate. The Education Ministry permitted schools that are designated emergency shelters to close early on Friday to allow for full preparation in the event they will be used to house evacuees. The Supreme Court ruled on Friday that security guards who are engaged by Marksman Limited are employees and not contract workers. In the landmark ruling, the court ordered that with immediate effect, the company should start paying its portion of National Housing Trust NHT statutory contributions. However, Justice David Batts has blocked efforts by NHT to recover $806 million in outstanding employer contributions being sought by the trust. The judge said the NHT took too long to act and that it would now be unfair to ask the security company to pay the statutory obligation. The amount which was being sought, which covers the period 2000 to 2016, included interest, penalties and surcharge and the principal sum of $477 million. Police Commander Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips says it's a matter of time before investigators make a significant breakthrough into the September 18 fatal attack on spectators at a football match in Spring Village in St Catherine. 9 persons were shot, 3 fatally. Senior Superintendent Phillips, who is the head of the St Catherine South Police Division, says a manhunt remains ongoing for the attackers, including one who was reportedly shot. The senior policeman, along with National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson, and a team from the Jamaica Broilers Group, led by its chairman Robert Levy, visited the community this week. The gunmen were reportedly targeting Jerome Squire, who was said to be implicated in a missing firearm. Mr. Squire was among those killed. Now, a poultry producer, Jamaica Broilers, closed its plant on Monday following the attack at the company's playing field. Jamaica Broilers boss, Mr. Levy, said 2 of the deceased persons were employees, while 4 workers suffered injuries. Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, has removed the death penalty as a sentencing option for Roshane Barnett, the man who confessed to the June murder of a mother and her 4 children in Clarendon. She made the formal announcement during a sentencing hearing in the Home Circuit Court in Kingston for Mr. Barnett, who confessed in July. He pleaded guilty to the killing of his cousin, Kemisha Wright, and her 4 children, Kimanda Smith, Sharalee Smith, Rafaela Smith, and 23-month-old Kishon Henry Jr. On Thursday, Ms. Llewellyn said the Crown was obliged to remove the death penalty as a matter of law. She said everyone who pleads guilty is entitled to some amount of credit. The DPP has proposed that the 23-year-old killer be sentenced to life in prison at hard labour and for him not to be eligible for parole until after 60 years. Mr. Barnett's lawyer, Tamika Harris, has asked for a similar sentence but for the court to exercise leniency by making him eligible for parole after 45 years in prison. The judge will hand down the sentence on October 20. A teenage boy who raped, buggered, then strangled a 9-year-old girl will have to spend more than 20 years in prison for his crimes. The boy, who was 13 years old at the time of the gruesome 2018 killing in Westmoreland, was given a mandatory life sentence and must serve 23 years and 9 months in prison before he is eligible for parole. He was also sentenced to 18 years in prison for the rape and 10 years for the buggery. The sentence was imposed on Friday by Justice Courtney Day in the Home Circuit Court in Kingston. The teenager was found guilty on July 1 this year of rape, murder and buggery after a trial in the Westmoreland Circuit Court. President of the opposition People's National Party PNP, Mark Golding, wants the current maternity leave arrangements to be extended in keeping with the International Labour Organization's Maternity Protection Convention, which mandates a minimum of 14 weeks with full pay, but with a recommendation for 18 weeks in total. He made the call during his maiden party conference as leader on Sunday. He said Jamaica was among the 36% of countries that remained non-compliant. Mr. Golding said Jamaica's maternity leave arrangements have not changed since the PNP pioneered 8 weeks of paid and 4 weeks of unpaid maternity leave in the 1970s. Meanwhile, former PNP President Peter Phillips issued a call for unity in the party. But just days after that appeal, PNP Deputy Spokesman on Information Raymond Price announced that he would challenge Dr. Angela Brown-Burke for the chairmanship of the party. She was elected the first woman chairman almost a year ago. There are more problems for the ruling Jamaica Labour Party JLP in the St Ann North East constituency following 2 days of protest by supporters demanding the removal of MP Marsha Smith. It's the second major public opposition to Smith this year after supporters stomped on and ripped T-shirts bearing her image on February 3. They have accused her of non-performance and ignoring their efforts to address the issues quietly. Smith, who replaced the late Shahini Robinson, has not commented on the issue. The JLP Secretariat, led by General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang, has also been publicly silent on the matter. The supporters took to the streets on Tuesday, but upped their calls the following day by starting fires on the Prior Remain Road.
Marsha, we need good MP!
Meanwhile, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell has issued a warning that the opposition will be seeking to bring the constituency back to its fold. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on your notification and subscribe today. I'm Jovan Johnson, and before we go, reactions from relatives and residents grieving following the mass shooting in Spring Village, Old Harbour, St Catherine on September 18th.
Comforter, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I pray for strength, mighty God. Only your strength, Jesus. We ask for your intervention right now, mighty God, for the families that are grieving, mighty God.
So this is just too much for me right now. It is really, really too much. So what I need to do is to just go back, and I don't even think I can work for the day because mentally I'm affected. And if I'm affected so mentally, I can't imagine what the family members are going through.
This community doesn't know how to react and respond to something like this. So folks are wondering, is it safe to come out to work? Is it safe to come out to school? They don't know how to respond. So the response will just have to go out later. That we're picking up the pieces and we'll need support, but we're gonna continue, we're gonna move on.
Well, as you can see, most of our senior investigators are on the ground. We, have been engaging with the community from morning. Yesterday, over 300 persons were at this location, enjoying a game of football. So we believe we have more than enough witnesses to give us some support with the investigation. Still early days, we still, trying to put the pieces together. The persons who are at the hospital, we're still giving those persons some time. One person has been released since. The numbers remain the same in terms of those who succumb to their injuries. The community at this time is really, saddened by what happened. We had to be giving some support to even immediate family members. Some persons fainted on us this morning. We had to assist them to the hospital.